What is up, family? Welcome to my first ever reaction video and my first video of 2021, man. What's been good, family, man? I miss y'all. Man, you already know who's talking to you, man. It's your boy, your nigga, LFL Da Vinci, aka the Jackal. Please say the motherfucking Jackal. What's been going on with y'all, man? Look, I know I haven't uploaded in like 3, 4, 5 months, but it was your boy's last semester in college, and I put my focus towards this research project I had to do in one of my classes in order to graduate, what the fuck kind of word is that? Graduate. And long story short, I got an A in the class, and your boy is about to get his bachelor's degree of science in psychology. So now, all my focus is towards y'all. Y'all are no longer the side chick. Oh, y'all got all my focus. And I'm about to start cranking out these videos, man. I appreciate those of you who watch my videos. Y'all the realest. Don't let nobody tell y'all different. Yeah, y'all the realest motherfuckers out there. But let's get into it, man. You see the title. And just out of curiosity, how many of you all believe the earth is flat? Just curious. Leave it down in the comments if you're brave enough. And just so y'all know, man, we are not on the same team. We are not on the same team at all if you believe the earth is flat. Nigga, there is a plethora of information out there on why the earth is spherical. I'll give you one quick example. Look, when you see a boat leave the pier or wherever you see a boat leave, any particular spot, the motherfucker disappears over the horizon. To be more specific, the front bottom part of the boat. If the earth was flat, you could see that motherfucker set off and keep sailing. And not only that, niggas believe that the earth's pictures are fake. First off, bro, we have satellites and even an object on the moon. If I remember, that's what I had researched in college in astronomy class, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but we have this object on the moon, including satellites that take pictures of all kinds of shit in space, including the earth. And it's a sphere. But most important thing, nigga, and I don't know why anybody is not asking this more often, what does lying about the shape of the goddamn earth have to do with anything, man? Like, what does that do? What is the benefit of this? Why would the scientists or the Illuminati or whoever you flat earthers think is orchestrating this frivolous lie have to gain from this? But anyway, let's get into the video, man.
The one on my right, sphere, if you think that is the shape of the earth, point to it now. If you think the other model is the shape of the earth, point to it now.
2, 1, 0.
Ah, shit, it's about to get real.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What do you think the shape of the earth is?
I don't think. I know for a fact it's a globe.
Yeah.
Hold up, bro. Hold on, back up.
What do you think the shape of the earth is?
I don't think. I know for a fact it's a globe.
Bro, Spencer ain't here playing no games. He was like, nigga, I know the earth is a globe. You and whoever else who put this segment for this show together are on some bullshit right now. I already like Spencer.
You're at the spot.
It's like we have this picture of reality that's a big puzzle piece, and then one of those pieces just wasn't fitting.
I'm always open to having a discussion with someone who is holding a wrong belief like this.
Are you willing to change your mind on this?
I'm not. The evidence is so much. Nobody wants to be.
Whoa. Whoa. Yo, let me go back. Shit. Here we go. Y'all ever just, y'all ever just hear someone speak and their voice itself sounds intelligent? That's Ali. This is Ali. Ali sounds like he knows what the fuck he's talking about, bro. And I barely heard him say anything.
Are you willing to change your mind on this?
I'm not. The evidence is so much.
Nobody wants to be a flat earther, but if you showed me incontrovertible evidence, I would definitely go back.
They have.
Who wants the ridicule?
Apparently you.
The discussion with the other side.
I'd like to tear them to pieces.
Oh my god. I can already tell you can be a problem. Flat earthers. That's just who would want to be labeled that.
I'm Jim Underdown, Executive Director of the Center for Inquiry West in Los Angeles and the chair of the CFI Investigations Group.
I'm Spencer Marks, one of the senior members of the CFI Investigations Group, Science Advocate.
I am Mali Nayeri. I'm a theoretical physicist, and I'm with the University of Irvine.
Oh. Come on, man. My bro just said he is a theoretical physicist. I know he's fucking mad. This nigga's job is to literally understand and comprehend the universe. This is the equivalent of me walking up to a goddamn dentist and telling that dentist your knowledge on the structural integrity of teeth is flawed because of the extensive amount of YouTube videos and and Spark Notes I've saw. But I'm 100% sure that at least two of these people who claim to be flat earthers, that a good bit of their knowledge is based off YouTube videos. Cause I'm sure there's no scientist on this earth that is backing this flat earth bullshit. I know this dude is mad. This dude should be doing something better with his time, man. Come on.
I am Wendell Walton. I'm a Chief Learning Officer for a young startup.
I'm Shelley Lewis. I'm a graduate of West Point, critical thinker, and jumped out of the airplanes.
My name is Dan Glatman.
Good job,
I work
Shelley.
as Dan the
You're
Waterman in the drinking water filtration
Dan the
industry.
Waterman.
I'm a truth seeker.
I get
A truth seeker.
earthers on the left and my globe earthers on the right.
My boy is a truth seeker.
Only step forward if this is true for you. I believe the earth was created by a higher power.
Before we get into that, well, I'm not even gonna go into that. But before we get into, let me think. Are there what famous people are flat earthers? Definitely Kyrie Irving's narcissistic ass. But who else is there? Oh yeah, B.O.B. His wannabe woke ass. Damn, I'm naming just niggas right now. That's not a good lick at all for the culture. Let me stop.
Well, I've been a Christian for 30 years, so the Bible is a flat earth book. You have to take it literally. Like, for example, in Isaiah,
No, you don't.
when it talks about how the earth is like a
Unless-
clay
unless you grab
wax
your
seal that's stamped with upturned edges, that's just not some fancy story. That's a simile. It is
What
like.
makes you think
Right,
it's not?
absolutely. And in Isaiah talks about too, and I'm a Christian, he who sits upon the circle of the earth. There's a difference between a circle and a ball.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
If you look at the original Hebrew,
Thank you.
it
That
means
was elementary
disc.
knowledge.
There's over 200 scriptures in the Bible that point to a flat earth.
Okay, let me just before the scientists start talking. I typically just shut up about a topic, no matter what it is. Now, at least nowadays, on the basis of individuals' belief about anything that is being argued is grounded in religion. Why? Because, like I said, I'm kind of different now. I don't want to offend someone's belief, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. See, I just did it right there, and I feel bad for it. I apologize, non-secular people. I apologize. I did not mean to do that.
So this notion that you need God or some higher power to create the earth or the universe is very old and was initially posited by people of a pre-scientific age. Since then,
Facts.
we have learned quite a bit about the universe coming into existence, when that happened. Modern humans don't get their cosmology, they don't get their physics, they don't get their knowledge of the universe from the Bible or any ancient text.
It's sort of like the God of the gaps. Once, people used to believe that lightning was God's wrath and throwing these lightning bolts, but once we understood it was a natural process, God.
That's a question. Just a question. Anybody? I think this just may be a thing South people say. Y'all, has it ever been raining when it was? Has it ever been raining when it was sunny with y'all? Then out of nowhere, y'all just heard somebody say the devil is beating his wife. That's what. That's what people. I'm not sure if it's like that anywhere else. Like I stayed on the West Coast for a minute, and I never heard of that before. But in the South, that's what people say. The devil is beating his wife when it is raining while it is sunny. I don't know what that has to do with anything. The devil just gets pissed. The devil just gets pissed the fuck off when it's sunny and raining. Bitch, just be like, bitch, it's sunny and raining, and just slap her ass, man. That's so fucked up. Also, I didn't know the devil had a wife.
Shrank a little bit more because now we couldn't attribute those lightning bolts to God. We had to attribute that to the real science. The other thing, to the point about the Bible specifically for me, is why is that one particular text the correct one? You choose to believe that, and that's fine.
Exactly.
But there's so many other writings and so many other books, so why weren't they correct? Why is just the Bible correct?
Talk your
what
shit,
you'll
Big
find
Spencer.
in a lot of these ancient religions is they're all flat earth religions.
That's cap.
All their cosmology goes back to being a flat
cap,
earth
Shelley.
with an enclosed system.
The
so it's
Quran
not
does
just
not
the Bible
state whether
that
it is
teaches
flat or
this.
spherical at
It's
all.
Many different religious
That's cap.
books.
So
Yeah.
one problem I have is to trying to explain phenomena happen in nature by holy books. Those are religious books. Those are not books of science.
Exactly.
And it is wrong to infer or deduct scientific readings out of those books.
You can't. You just can't.
My name is Wendell. I am
Especially when
a
there's different fucking
logical,
versions of it.
biblically
Speaking of
based, and scientific flat earther. I didn't start
Christian
out, and
literature.
no one starts out as a flat earther, but I had a lot of questions. So I actually got to the point where I had to go out and put my own eyeballs on it. So we went out to an observation at Salton Sea, and things just didn't add up down there. So we've gone back probably a
didn't
dozen
add up?
times, and I can guarantee you that there is no curvature over distance.
How?
The internet has played an important role in confirming my.
How did you come up with this hypothesis? Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying, Ali. That's definitely the fucking problem.
We have the advantage of information today that's outside of channels 2, 4, and 7, and the few networks that are corporately
I agree
owned.
with the
It's
news
pretty
gives you
easy to
misinformation.
say YouTube isn't research, but when you spend enough time, you're picking up quite a bit. And
What'd I say? I don't even know if I stated. I told you these niggas clearly they watch YouTube videos, bro. Like, I could make a YouTube video talking about how testicles are really just male titties below the penis, and I could have conviction in saying that. And I could go down a rabbit hole too to find supporting facts that may support that. But that doesn't make it true, man. And in that's not what science is based off of. Even though I'm sure y'all not, I'm not sure what the evidence y'all claim that that the Earth is flat is via science. Science doesn't work that way. Science is working towards. There's never a conclusion in science. There's always room for error, no matter what. Sure, some theories may hold validity, but a theory is never 100% anything, because there's always room for improvement, or even there's always room for error. But the more something is backed and tested, the more valid it comes. That's why you never say a theory is true. You say the theory holds more validity. But I've been in college too long. I'm starting to sound like my college professor, or a portion of her anyway.
And with the discussion groups, panels, we've gone against opposition. We've opposed ourselves. Surprisingly enough, flat Earth is its own worst enemy. So it's not that easy for us to come to consensus. And we find that consensus is orchestrated and not actually scientific in any way.
You know, my grandfather used to tell me growing up, never believe anything you read in the newspaper, right? He told that to me. Now, with the age of the internet, it's like, you know, how much of this misinformation are you getting there? And when you have like eyewitnesses taking video of something, you do have to take everything with a grain of salt. That's why, because of my my multimedia background, I knew that all that stuff could be faked. You know, take it into Photoshop, take it into After Effects.
Photoshop was invented in the 60s, nigga.
Okay, this is at the core of the issue of why there are so many flat Earth believers out there right now. The problem is the information from someone who decides to start a website or produce a YouTube video is not reliable. When I have a toothache, I go to a dentist. When my car breaks down, I go to a mechanic. When you have questions about cosmology, you should go to an astrophysicist, you should go to a physicist, you should go to people who have spent years and years studying these ideas, not some 6-minute YouTube video. There is a percentage of people that if they saw a YouTube video that was not within their scientific chops to refute on the face of it, would believe anything out there.
Bro, just imagine you spend, let's say you're 50 years old. You spend 30 years, or even 40, maybe 35 years, studying a particular general area of study, just for somebody who watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos to come up to you and say that everything that you have studied and have found and tested, along with thousands, hundreds of thousands of other scientists, it's not true, just from watching a shit ton of YouTube videos and looking up conspiracy theories. Bro, I just don't get why people would think the government or whoever they think would just lie about the fucking earth being flat. What do you have to gain by that, man? That's what I want to know. What does anybody have to gain by not, we just can't know shit? The government just doesn't want anybody to know shit? Is that it? Like, god damn, man.
One of the things I will say is NASA.gov has their own documents out there that we get to vet, which is through the Freedom of Information Act. And would you agree that NASA documents, if they're on display, that we should be able to go and research inside there?
NASA is not proving that the Earth is flat.
Well, they say it in 14 of the documents.
You should read what NASA says, and you should listen to what NASA
I would
says.
love to see your NASA evidence that the Earth is flat.
It's only their contradictory issues that bring us here.
We're all familiar with the Earthrise photo, right? The Earth is rising over the moon. We're all familiar with it. That's NASA. You can go out to NASA's site. You can download the original, right?
I already know what you're going to ask.
So you bring up the luminance on it, and you can see where it's cut out and pasted there.
They're showing us doctored images that are clearly doctored. The blue marble is a very famous image from 1972. When you talk to the artist from NASA, his name is Robert Simmons, he talks about exactly how it was created from data, and it's not a photograph whatsoever. He added clouds.
Let me explain.
He added a highlight of the sun.
If you take, you know, on your phone, most phones have that panoramic image.
Well, I don't know about
when you do that, you're taking a series of pictures, and the phone cleverly stitches that together.
I'm just saying how it's presented. It's presented as a real photograph.
So when NASA takes real photos, and they either clean them up for color, or they stitch them together so it's one large image, it doesn't mean they're CGI.
You're talking about composite.
And breathe down about your down, breathe down, hit breathe here, prepare down and get
Yeah. That I just studied hard as a motherfucker. That commercial just caught me off fucking guard extra fucking quick. It was a tax commercial, y'all. Do y'all taxes. Don't be like Fat Joe and go to jail for 2 years.
I'm what you call a globe denier. You could even get me into a virtual construct if I can't find the borders myself.
What shape would you say you think the Earth is?
It appears to me to be a stationary plane, as opposed to the vastness of infinity of space. I would find it to be an ice plane where we have a localized sun and our environment thrives there. You know, these particular people have misled us on television. This is a brilliant opportunity to speak. We've been suppressed, censored by.
Also, bro, I just not thought about this. If the Earth is flat, okay, listen. if the Earth is fucking flat, wouldn't literally everybody in the world have the same time zone? Wouldn't literally everybody get daylight if the Earth was flat? Just by looking at that model? Like, bro, come on, man.
By mainstream media, alternative media is just a thing of beauty for me.
I view the other side as uneducated.
I'm running.
The irony.
They think they are uneducated.
I know y'all are appalled.
Well, they certainly think they're educated.
Nigga Ali was appalled.
Quite a bit of the university system,
This
what we
nigga
call
is an
scientism,
astrophysicist. He's the
Right,
most
scientism.
educated.
obviously is the belief in what's written, where we tend to be exploring in the field with physical properties, not theories of any kind. We're using actual measurements that are calculated not by our guidelines, but the guidelines of science as we know it. I can only hope they're uneducated
As you know
as
it.
opposed to disingenuous.
Well, that's the other thing too, because we
Why
know
would
that
anybody lie about
on
this?
a large scale, the government has been disingenuous, and
Yeah,
they're
they've
pushing
been
a
disingenuous
narrative,
about a bunch of
right?
stuff, but not
So
this.
it's hard for us. I mean, I'm sure that you've met people too. It's like, look, are you haven't looked into it yet, or are you a shill? Are you part of a disinformation campaign?
Why? Why, I wonder?
I don't think you guys are uneducated. I think
I
you're
think you're fucking
wrongly
stupid.
educated.
I think the problem
I think
with
you're fucking stupid.
what I've seen in the flat Earth crowd is that it's not that they're undereducated, but they, instead of looking at evidence and letting the evidence guide to where the ultimate conclusion is,
Exactly.
they start with a conclusion,
Yeah, and then they
try
find
to
more
cherry-pick
evidence to
evidence
back it.
support
That's not how
their
science
pre-drawn
works.
conclusion. They cast away all the bits of evidence that actually is contrary to their belief system.
I think that you're very well educated as well as you are, Jim.
That
But-
nigga right there is an
and
extra.
the best
Thank you,
education of
thank
all
you,
of us.
Spencer.
Exactly, and he paid for it too. But more and more professionals are coming on
Nigga's an
board. They're starting to question their
astrophysicist,
reality.
man.
So the thing of it is once you start to really take a hard look at the evidence, and you are
That took time out of
unafraid
his
of just
busy day
standing for the truth,
to come talk to
wherever
you
that
people.
may lead you, then people end up becoming flat earthers.
What are you hoping to get from the discussion today?
I'm hoping to be able to tell our side of the story from the inside out. So many times, flat earthers are depicted from the outside in, and I want to be able to share with others
What does that even mean?
empirical data that proves the Earth is not what we've been told.
Yeah, of course you guys are gonna be. I need empirical data as well as theoretical data. Shelley.
About this topic.
So when I was 12 years old, I went to space camp, and I met Alan B. Shepard.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and I wanted to be an astronaut, and I wanted to be the first woman to walk the moon.
Oh.
So for me, I'm a glober. I went into this completely wanting it to be true. And my husband told me, he saw this thing about the fake moon landing. And I was like, you're absolutely crazy. There's no way that the moon landings are fake. And then in 2010, my husband was
could
killed.
be. I never
And so I
really
never
cared,
really
though.
developed that until around 2014 when Flat Earth kind of came back up. And that little voice inside my head said, remember the fake moon landings? Remember when that was brought to my attention? And then I started really critically analyzing that. And
Okay. I could be reaching, but I'm feeling pretty cocky with my psychology degree right now. I'm feeling pretty cocky. Okay, she just said, and I could be 100% wrong with this. This is just an opinion. It's not even a theory. This is an opinion. She said her husband was killed. She didn't want to go into details clearly about that, but he was killed. During that time when he was killed, the topic of flat Earth came back up to her, and that made her go back into a memory that her and her husband had. And so that might have been a coping mechanism for her to kind of dive back into that, because that was a moment they shared. So it's kind of like she's still sharing that one moment with her and her husband, even though he's dead. It's like a coping mechanism, and it might have just got out of hand. Like I said, I already forgot what the term is called. It's so many fucking terms in abnormal psychology. It's so many fucking terms, but I've already forgotten. But that could be the catalyst for why she thinks the Earth is flat now. Now, Wendell and I forgot his fucking John. I guess his name is John. I forgot his name. They just I don't know what to say about them. They must have watched some YouTube videos like B.O.B. did and just came up with a
I
conclusion.
would say, just looking at that evidence, if they can lie about the moon landings, they can certainly lie about pictures and satellites and other things.
Well,
and
why
so
would
I
they,
started going down that
Shelley?
rabbit hole of studying.
down
so
a rabbit
that
hole,
was
see?
my influence from
How
my
many
husband.
lies does it take to make a liar, right?
And being ridiculed for being inquisitive is pretty tough on us. I wouldn't say that I've changed my mind because my mind isn't set. NASA is solely designed to change my mind. It is, from its inception, from its discovery, has been a television program, it's been a space program to sell us on something that they've yet to actually show us. Show me a globe spinning with clouds and a moon, show me home, and I think I could shut up easily. I think I could shut up.
Okay, that's cap. Okay, the people are about to come up. NASA was not created for the sole purpose of finding out if the fucking Earth is flat, bro. That was not the purpose. NASA was created, nigga, among other things, in response to Russia launching the first satellite. I think it was called the Sputnik or something like that. Now, Russia launched the first satellite into space. And certain people in government, or scientists or whatever, wondered if, since they launched a satellite into space, if they could possibly launch a nuclear missile all the way from Europe to America. So NASA was created to study the problems and interactions of flight within as well as outside the Earth's atmosphere. Y'all, this discussion has me hot as a motherfucker. I'm sweating. Could be because the heat is on, but I'm sweating right now.
The timing of your conversions is interesting to me. 20
Me
years
too.
ago, the
Especially
flat
Shelley.
Earth world was tiny and insignificant. Enter the advent of the internet, YouTube, online discussion groups, all these new available places where you could find information about everything.
This is true that the evidence as you looked were not robust evidence. And the sources you used, they were not reliable sources again. But my problem is that, and
You gotta do it with
like
APA.
you guys that you are very skeptical.
APA citation,
But at
everybody.
the same time, you are not skeptical about your belief system.
You
That
keep
should
going
have come
back.
first.
You think that that's my foundation for
It's
why I
part of
believe
it.
the Earth is flat, and I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Well, what's the
I have evidence that proves it's flat.
What type of
evidence?
evidence?
It's not
What
wrong.
evidence? No, bitch. What
What
evidence?
type of
Curvature, I
evidence?
We're
just-
being misled. We're being deliberately misled by
Why?
mainstream media.
What's your
Why?
evidence? You're
We see
thinking?
too far. We see too far.
Oh
we
my
should not be able
God.
to see. I live in Dana Point.
Okay,
I can see San Clemente Island.
Bitch,
which
so
is 60
what?
miles away.
so what?
Thank you, Eileen.
No, I'm
It's
on the
1,100
beach.
feet
I'm on the
tall.
beach.
It is
What do you mean by
tall.
so what?
I'm on the
But-
beach.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
can you see a ship which is going?
We're
Oh
not
yeah,
talking
let's talk
that.
about the ship that goes
Yes,
over the curvature
okay.
of the Earth. I love
So-
that.
There's a ship?
So science has said that when I see a ship go
Uh-huh.
out of my field
Yes.
of view, it's going over the curvature of the Earth, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
But then I bring my P900 up, and guess what? I can zoom it back in.
Not
So
all
is
the
it
time.
going over the curvature of the
Bitch,
Earth?
so
or not?
what? You can't see the
Oh, not all the
front
time.
end.
Not all the
So
time.
what?
You
Let me
don't
call
see
you a bitch,
all the
Shelley.
ship. The bottom part of the ship
Yes.
is hidden by the
At that
curvature.
Thank
distance, you
you.
shouldn't see the top
At
of it
all.
either.
If the Earth were truly flat, there would be really hardly any limit. You would be able to stand at the top of the Empire State Building and look towards Chicago, a mere 1,000 miles away, and see the lights of Chicago at night.
No,
Why wouldn't
no, because you have an atmospheric disturbance.
Very thick.
I've been
Water
into
alone.
astronomy
That's
since I was
big.
10.
It's faulty logic.
See, he was
completely
faulty logic, bro.
Reset, and then I have a more interesting.
Yes, man. Let's reset. Damn.
One of the big things I do is investigate extraordinary claims like flat eartherism or ESP or all sorts of different things. The Earth is undoubtedly a globe and not flat. This is well supported by gobs of science.
Scientific consensus is possible.
Scientific consensus is possible.
What is the question?
I don't understand the question.
Scientific consensus is possible.
Bro, y'all don't know what a consensus is. Fuck science, fuck scientific. Y'all don't know what consensus means. It's an overall agreement, not a 100% agreement, but it's just like an overall arching agreement. That's it, man. It's a scientific overall agreement, not 100% because nothing is 100% in science. But it's just an overall consensus, man. Like, damn, y'all. I'm not trying to call y'all stupid, but it's kind of hard at this point.
Possible. Anything is possible. I mean, anything is possible. I've got a tremendous issue with consensus and peer review. I've been spending a lot of time arguing with people that argue the other side. And I found that surprisingly, consensus always wins. It was shocking to me that the group with the majority has an incredible advantage. As scientists, flat earthers, truthers, punks, we're at an incredible disadvantage.
Let's talk about scientific consensus for a second. You're never going to get 100% of anyone. There is scientific consensus on a global Earth. There's scientific consensus on evolution. A lot of big issues.
Use the word theory.
No. Do you know what a theory in science is an extremely...
And a fact is a fact.
Don't mistake this word theory.
You are.
In science, it's not conjecture, it's not...
It's an explanation. By definition, it's an explanation.
It's a deep...
Well, let's talk about a fact. Show me a fact.
Made a mistake.
Why aren't all facts theories?
In science, the word theory is the highest level that you can give something because it's so well supported.
What about a fact?
I just told y'all
It's a fact. It's
well,
and
a
I'm
fact
not even,
you would call it
you
a
know
fact.
why? Do you know why? Because in science, there's...
I just told y'all this. I'm not even into that area of science. I'm in the social science. And social science shares the same groundwork as any other field of science. Like this is basic. This is why I said I don't think at least these people, their shit is grounded in science, and this is why it's getting on my nerves.
always room for improvement. There's always room to find better, to tweak and find better
That's what I'm talking about,
information.
Spencer.
So that is how science works.
It gets better.
Thank you, Dr.
refined over
Piven.
time,
You
as
taught me
opposed
well.
to flat Earth theory, which never gets refined. It simply is what it is.
New ideas have limited access to media and limited exposure. Until we're in university curriculums, we will continue to appear uneducated.
Well, that's not true.
Necessarily.
In the history of science, we had many occasions that the ideas, it was not welcomed by the society.
Bro, that's not true. There was a time where thinking that the Earth was spherical was damn near a death sentence. A death sentence. What was my boy's name? I can't think. Galileo, bro. He got persecuted, and I think he died in prison because of heliocentrism, bro. There was consequences to this, to believing this. But thankfully, over time, as scientists do, they go back and keep going back and keep going back to test these. And the validity of what Galileo was saying wasn't found to be, I'm not going to say factual. There was validity to what Galileo was saying, basically. There hasn't been any error to disprove what he was saying. So, I know generally people think that flat earthers are, well, like it's kind of taboo to be a flat earther because I guess the general consensus is that people believe the earth is spherical, which is good, but it wasn't always like that, man. There was always consequences. There's always been consequences for shit, bro. Y'all remember how goddamn crazy? No offense to Catholics. Any Catholics that watch this video, y'all remember that Catholics were crazy as shit back then, man. They were ready to kill that man because he said that the Earth was not the center of the universe, bro. They were ready to kill that dude.
Society. Einstein was one of them.
Galileo
was one.
There we go.
But if your theory is an authentic one, and it can go through this hardship of scientific method, eventually will win.
I used to believe that science was after the truth, right? We all just want to know what the truth is. Science has been trying so hard to divorce itself from the idea of a creator when God's intent was to create science to lead you to Him. You know, sometimes things seem supernatural that we are able to explain later through, science. Okay, I understand. But there are other things as well that are supernatural, that go beyond the natural, that we can only explain through believing in a creator, right?
This is my big issue with science, scientific approach and non-scientific approach. You are absolutely right. In science, we are after the truth. And we are hoping by each day we're getting closer and closer to the truth. We never get there. Never.
Well, I know that's true for you.
No, that's a science. That's you guys. You think you do have the truth. Now let's look at the evidence. As you mentioned, you do have the conclusion. Let's find the evidences. Science doesn't work that way.
That's not true. That is not true.
Well, you are saying you are referring to Jesus, who many billions of people do not believe, including myself.
And many more billions do.
So what?
So who's right?
Of course I can.
When you say that we start with a conclusion and then try to match everything to make it work, like that to me is complete dishonesty. That is not true at all.
That is what you are doing
right now. No, you're not. You're making that assumption, which I think science does a lot of. Well, so do you make assumptions or not? Does science make assumptions? Does science make assumptions?
Yeah, we do make assumptions based on things that are well supported and proven and reproven. We don't have
to... Show me how you isolate gravity. If gravity is an assumption, you show me in a scientific method how you isolate gravity.
We've done that actually. Let's cool off.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, fuck that, man. Y'all screw up. Let's screw up. Fuck that. Shelly, you first. Damn, we had to get him water.
Conclusions require knowledge. I just want to check in. How are you guys feeling? How's this discussion going?
There are
I kind of feel like I want to develop some of this stuff a little bit more. It feels high level, but I feel like there's so much that I haven't really even touched base on.
Well, I mean, I certainly didn't think that anybody was on either side was going to flip.
Well, there's still time.
There's still time. I have hope for you, Wendell, and Shelley. I don't know about Dan. I have hope for you too. But, it's certainly, I'm glad it's a civil discussion, certainly.
Oh, yeah.
Put your waters to the side, and we'll just do another round.
Hey, what say?
Good.
He flipped! Bro. You don't even know what side you're on, Wendell.
All right. NASA is trustworthy.
As far as what? Depends on what you mean by trustworthy. As far as this general topic,
obviously
yes,
any organization can be wrong with certain things, and they may have individuals that lie or deceive or something, but as a general organization, they're looking for the truth.
Yeah, the idea that NASA and the government is lying to us about the shape of the Earth is the height of conspiracy theories. In order for this to be true, the literally hundreds of thousands of people who at some point over the last 50 or 60 years would had to be somewhat complicit in this, and nobody spills the beans at all, is on the face of it completely unbelievable.
He said it, man, not me.
The private does not know what the general is doing. There's compartmentalization happening all the time.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be that far-fetched. Has the government ever lied to us is really the question at
Absolutely they have.
We all agree on that.
But now we have NASA.gov, right? And absolutely they're not lying about anything. They're completely transparent. Everything is true.
You didn't say that.
We'd be foolish to think that's true.
Here.
I said we like I'm in that bitch.
There's a fallacy here. There's
not a fallacy.
I'm sure it is.
Go ahead.
You were talking about a government. Now you're talking about an agency of the government. But this agency is scrutinized by thousands and thousands of scientists around the globe. You are dealing with smart people, believe me. You are dealing with smart people.
I don't deny that.
So it is very hard to do that. Once or twice, maybe. Not for the whole time.
Raise your hand if you think we went to the moon.
I honestly,
What is the proof? Hundreds and hundreds of pounds of moon.
Honestly, like I said, I really don't give a shit. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we did. I believe we went to the moon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't go when we initially said we went. We went later. We went like 2 years later. Motherfuckers. We was in the race to the moon with Russia, and we didn't want to lose. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you know your ass ain't going to the moon? Like, hey, we went there already, y'all. So y'all ain't even gotta go up there no more. we was first. The American flag is up there. It's our territory. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. But like I said, as far as landing on the moon, I really don't give a shit who was first. Like, what's the point?
Rocks and dust. And we have distributed those freely to PhD scientists around the world. And not one of those geologists has said, what is this?
Been proven to be fake.
And also and collected on the ice in Antarctica and in the Arctic as well. Those are collected. You don't have to go to the moon to get moon rocks. As a matter of fact, all U.S. Air Force photography prior to 1958 shows a flat Earth. Only NASA shows us.
Where?
That's absolutely not true.
Where?
I wouldn't lie to you.
And the other
They ain't talking this big shit. You talking that big shit. We about to find out. That definitely does not look flat. Damn, what is that, Dad? I don't got any images. Is this it? Look how stupid that looks. What's on the other side? Oh, that looks so stupid. What's on the other side? Where's the fucking sun? Well, even in right, you wouldn't be able to see the sun. So, see this? That's what I mean. Shit like that, man.
NASA's lying to you, my friend. Not myself.
You are lying, Dan. I didn't find anything in
that we're using now.
We still use to this day.
It's sitting there.
You can find to the inch how far away
Look,
the moon is.
we got shit on the moon.
That only is there. By the way,
there are not.
My question to you is,
God.
why? Why would all these honest, hardworking...
How do people, like, clearly, we've got shit in space, bro, that can take a picture of the goddamn Earth. We have shit in space that can detect the weather. Like, come on, man. Jesus. I'm losing my patience. You can think this video almost over with.
Perpetuate this massive fraud. Why would they do this?
What's the benefit of doing
Okay,
that?
the benefit of it. They make $52 million a day. Follow the money.
No, the little
Follow
guy.
the money.
The little guy.
That's what. Then when you say all, okay.
But it didn't start out that way. And NASA was not founded to prove the Earth was a globe. It had nothing to do with the way they were founded.
Well, if you go and study.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Really?
Yes.
All right, y'all. I'm stopping the video right here because they really weren't really talking about that. At least all the good shit was going. They were just talking about understanding each other and shit like that. Shit was boring. I started falling asleep. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, man, leave some comments, man. My shit be dry. Leave some comments. Like the video, man. Tell me what y'all think about the Earth being flat, the Earth not being flat. If you're gonna be toxic in the comment section, I'm not gonna promote you being toxic, but if you're gonna be toxic, have some validity and understanding behind the toxicity. Just don't be. I'd rather you not be toxic, but if you gotta be, yeah, it is what it is. I can just delete comment if I deem it too toxic. But yeah, man, I catch y'all in the next video, man. I'm out.